At these letters, we gave, terms related to forest, very obvious. Well, because of time and hurry, and each of these letters can give a lot of words related to forest and ecosystems, as well as what is services in the forest. So we just actually say this word, and one will suggest name or service in the forest. So for example, flora, I think is repeated already there, or organisms, what you find, there are many organisms in the forest, are, especially in the condition now in the world, with we are losing a lot of forests, so restoration is very important. So we thought this is the best word to describe our ecosystem is already mentioned. Species, it's very obvious that in forest you find many species. Trees, again mentioned, this is the forest, the main component of the forest. Biodiversity, because forest and trees supporting more diversity than any other ecosystem. Individual, this is related to a component, whether individual or group, communities. So this is the beginning of the, species and individuals and communities, so we came to individual. Orchid is an example of plant species, which is mostly available in Asia, in this country, in this part of the world. Decomposition, because forests always will have decomposition, so someone suggested that term, indigenous, especially the knowledge coming from people who are living in the forest. Mostly we find this knowledge, which is mostly disappearing now. This knowledge, indigenous knowledge. Variation in terms of species component, in terms of the ecosystem and microclimate. You get a lot of variation in forest. Endangered species, especially those species are endangered. So this is very much term which is concerned or related to forest. Resilience, that is a term of the actually used in IUCN mostly for forest and others. Sustainability, that is a very important word for forest and using of resources in the forest. Introduction species, most of the places actually species which are introduced into forest and causing a lot of problem, especially those alien species. Terrestrial, forest is part of terrestrial ecosystem, and yield, we get a lot of yield from forest. So this award came from our mind, although there are, we can think of others. If you write again, we can think of many other words. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Any comment? So we'll go now to group 4, the Angel. Angel group.
Thank you. Although we are the last group to put up this thing, I guess we come in first in creativity. Yeah. First and foremost, the F stands for fantastic and friendly females. Doesn't mean that the males are not funny, not fantastic, they are equally fun. And comes in on O for original observation. We need this kind of observations in forestry. We can bring in new ideas. And R for reserve, and forest reserves, resources, and also research, which are much needed in forestry. E for energetic environment. Not just environment, but it is energetic. Because the forest, if you're going for a therapy, I would suggest you not chemotherapy, but a therapy in the forest. And S for sustainable, sustainably managing the forest. And T, not just for trees, but also tall trees. I'll pass the next biodiversity to Dr. Ladawan. She's another fantastic female.
So we have this equity. So here you finish with biodiversity. The B is the best practice. So we need the best practice in the forest. And yes, I is for indigenous. So indigenous people is very important, and we must recognize them. O is for observatory. So I think we also have problem with same as the other group, that we have very limited time. So later everyone just thinking of the work, and we did not have time to discuss. And this is for development. So development is affected forest, and in a way forests also need development. I is for indicators. So we need several indicators for forest. Verification is verification is very important, especially when we are monitoring something. And E is equity. So we are now equity, but men did not came for explaining, leaving female doing the work. And R is resilient. So it's the same as the previous group also was talking. S is for safety. So safety is very important in forest work. And I is investment. So we think doing forestry, investment must be also concerned. And T stands for threats, threatening of the forest. And Y is yield. So we are all hoping of the productive yield of the forest. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's give hand to all the four groups again. If you look at our efforts, Group 1 was the first, or the ecosystems restoration team was the first to finish, because I think they put the words, or they that come to their mind. But if you look at the results of Group 4, they're really thinking. Yeah, because they really put what they have, what they are doing. Yeah, what they are doing. But if you look at letter Y, there are 3 groups that put in their yield. Maybe I just don't know why you put the word yield, but yeah, that's very good. And because you have put all efforts to all this exercise, all of you will have a prize. This is a product from the Philippines. You can share. Mango, dried mango from the Philippines. And we have all of them. Okay. According to the organizer, we will have a true coffee break. You will have your snacks there outside, and be back at 11 o'clock. Yeah. You can have your coffee, your tea, and your bread, everything there. So be back at 11 o'clock.